if you are not registered for first semester, it's not a train smash. You can also register for second semester. And Nsfas will also send you an SMS to say that they approve you. Last year was a bit weird because of COVID.
I got it, that's what you got it. I got it, yes I do, baby, you pull me along.
Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Bradley Badagobazuri, African on all social media platforms. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back, and thank you so much for the support. In today's video, I will be giving advice to first year Unisa students. I know that when I started first year at Unisa, I was very confused. I was lost. No one told me anything, and I had to figure stuff all by myself. So I'm doing this video to help someone out there who might need the help. And in today's video, I will be covering the topics of Nsfas, self-funding, your registration process, assignments, books, exams, any and everything that I can think of that you might need help with when you are first starting out at Unisa. And I will say, I think this year is fully online, so things are a bit different. I did my schooling at Unisa for first and second year. It was before COVID, obviously, so I could go on campus and all that stuff. And then second year and fourth year, it was fully online. So I think this year is also still fully online. So I wrote a couple of points on my diary so that I don't forget to tell you guys about everything. So yeah, the first thing that we're gonna talk about, okay, so I'm going to be talking to people that actually applied at Unisa and got approved. But if you are planning on applying to study at Unisa next year, it's still going to be helpful for you, so just listen up, okay? If you have been approved to study at Unisa, obviously you'll receive your SMS with your student number. First of all, or what I did when I was a first year student, I made sure that I went to go claim MyLife's email. So you go on the MyUnisa website and you claim your MyLife email. You put in your student number. I think they also want your ID, your name and second name and last name, and then you'll claim your MyLife email. Your MyLife email will be sent to you via SMS. So your student number and your password for MyLife's email. So MyLife email is like an email that you get from Unisa, where they use it to communicate with you about everything that happens at Unisa. So if any assignment dates change, they'll send you an email. In that email, exam times, anything that happens in Unisa, they'll email you via the MyLife email. And for you to log into your MyLife, Outlook, Microsoft email, you need to put in your student number at mylife.unisa.ac.za, and then you can log in. And when you log in, you can put in the same password you use for your Unisa login, the one that you got with your student number, to log into that MyLife's email. So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to claim your MyLife's email. Okay. Then the second thing you'll do, you'll continue with your registration. So mind you, when registering, there are specific dates that are put in place to make sure that, okay, you start registering at this day, and then the closing date for registration is this day. So obviously everything is on the Unisa website. You need to go there, constantly checking, because sometimes they extend the date, sometimes something happens and they shorten the date or whatever, but they've never shortened the date. I'll just tell you that they've never shortened the date. They most likely extend the date. So they extend dates for the registration period, or the closing date will be like extended like by 2 weeks or so, and the payment for registration fee will also like sometimes be extended by 2 weeks or so. But just make sure that you know when the registration date closes, because sometimes you will miss your registration closing date and then you're not registered for like first semester. But if you are not registered for first semester, it's not a train smash. You can also register for second semester. So I saw that this year they brought back the registering for second semester again, where last year they removed it. You had to register only at the beginning of the year, and you couldn't register any other time during the year. So there is registration. There's first semester registration and the second semester registration. So you get modules or subjects where you can do in first semester, and then the other modules or subjects that you have to do in second semester. So if you missed your time period or your first semester registration, you can just do your first semester in second semester by registering for the second semester period, and that will be your starting time throughout your whole Unisa studies. In terms of registration, if you're Nsfas funded, obviously Nsfas will also send you an SMS to say that they approve you for funding, and then you can just take your proof of registration. So after you register at Unisa, it will give you an email. In that MyLife email that I was telling you about this, they'll send you a thing that says you are temporarily registered at UNISA. Then they'll send you like a thing. This is how much you need to pay minimum registration fee, and this is the cost of your overall tuition for the year. So if you are self-funded, you need to pay that minimum registration fee in order for you to get your books, your study material, your modules and everything at UNISA to open. But if you're Nsfas funded, you take that proof of temporary registration and you send it to Nsfas so that they can like process your stuff, and then they'll just like communicate with the university and stuff, and then they'll tell you, okay, Sharp, now you're finally funded, you can continue with your registration process or whatever. If you are Nsfas funded, I do suggest that you don't pay a registration fee out of pocket, because most likely they might refund you back your money at the end of the year, or they might not. Like there are other students at UNISA that say that they've never been refunded their money back from paying for registration themselves. But yeah, so don't pay for registration out of pocket because you're afraid that the closing date for the final registration fee payment is coming up and Nsfas hasn't said anything. Normally these things take time, so UNISA and Nsfas, they communicate and then they finalize everything, you know, themselves. If you get rejected for Nsfas in your first year, you can try again in your second year, third year and fourth year. Just make sure that you have the correct documents, everything is certified, and just make sure you get your parents' bank details and statements and all that stuff so that they can approve you for your bursary. The next thing is that if you have problems with your MyLife's email, because I know that there's some UNISA students that tried or that did first year, which was like an upgrade type of certificate diploma thing first with UNISA before they can do their proper degree, and then when they do apply again to like get in for like whatever it is that they actually wanted to get in for, they get a new student number. So with that new student number, you have to go to your Outlook email or your MyLife email and log out your old student number and enter your new student number so that you can receive messages and communication for the new course that you enrolled for. So that is another little mistake that people do, or another thing that people struggle with, especially when they swap from like doing a certificate at UNISA and actually like do qualify to do like a degree or a diploma of some sort or whatever. They struggle with the MyLife email thing. You need to go log out your old email with your old student number and enter your new stuff on your MyLife Outlook email, and things will work. When your registration is finalized, right, you can go to the website MyUnisa. So mind you, everything that I'm talking about here, I'll just leave links underneath in this video. If you're confused about anything, you can just click on the link. It will show you what I am talking about. If you are done and your registration says finalized, so let's say you're Nsfas funded, later in February, they'll send you an email saying, okay, your registration has been finalized. Now you can go to MyUnisa and put your student number, your password. It'll open this website where you'll see it says modules, and then the other side it says admin. So admin, when you press admin, you can see your assignment dates and due dates. You can see your exam timetable. You can see your exam results. You can see your student financial details. You can see if you completed it. There's just a lot that you can see there. So that's for you to like fix and stuff. You can fix your address. You can enter anything and everything that you want on my admin. And then my modules, all the modules that you registered for will appear under my modules, and then they'll have like little tabs where you can just press. So if you press one module, it'll open another page where you will see dashboard, discussion, MyLife, and all the other things like study material, additional resources, and all that kind of stuff. So it is important for you to always check your discussions. There's this little tab that says discussions. You open under discussions, you go in there. People always ask questions. So if you are confused about something, most probably someone is also confused about the exact same thing that you're confused about, and they're asking under there, and then the lecturer will like come and answer those questions and all that kind of stuff. And then sometimes people put their numbers in there to be put in like UNISA group chats, which is something that happened in first year. But when I got to third year, I use a different app, which I'll talk about a bit later. But yeah, so that discussion is very important, because sometimes it is part of your marks or your year mark for you to like communicate in those UNISA discussions. So sometimes I'll tell you, okay, the assignment is for you to go comment on someone else's question or query in the my discussion, and then your lecturer will come there, look at your student number, look at you, and then go give your mark according to that. So it is always important for you to always be looking at that. So the next thing is books and test books when it comes to UNISA. So after registration has been finalized, you know, when you are registering, it will give you an option to choose where you want your books to be delivered. So they'll give you an option of you can go pick them up at campus, or you can get them delivered by courier service straight to your door. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for stuff to get delivered to your house, and sometimes books come one by one. So just be a little bit patient and wait. Your study material will get delivered, so it's not a train smash. But my other thing is that don't go out and print out your study material from UNISA, because they're gonna come deliver it to you. I know that last year was a bit weird because of COVID. I'm hoping that things are a bit different this year because COVID has slowed down a little bit, so things will go out and get delivered. So yeah, in terms of your tutorial letters or your module books or whatever, or your subject books, so the subject that you're doing, the books will get delivered to you, so your study guides and all that stuff and all that. And then in those tutorial letters that you get, make sure you read each tutorial letter for each subject or module, because they'll tell you important information about that specific subject or module. Sometimes they'll tell you, we need a prescribed book, we need this, we need this, we need this from you. There's also assignment dates in those tutorial letters. There's literally everything. There's lectures, emails, so specific lectures for those specific modules are in those tutorial letters. So if you are struggling with something like a question about your assignment that you don't understand, you can go find the email in one of those tutorial letters. So you can also access the tutorial letters, like I said, online. You can just view them, download the stuff to your laptop or your phone or whatever, and like do it like that. But I don't advise that you do print it out, because they're gonna come deliver it to you in any way, you know. And then the next thing is test books. So in some modules, they do want you to buy test books for specific modules. So if you're doing psychology, they'll tell you to go buy psychology book, that third edition somewhere. Instead of you rushing to go buy a book somewhere, I do advise that you do consider buying a second-hand book. Make sure it's the right name, the right edition, and all that stuff, and then you can buy second-hand books. So if you are in a WhatsApp group chat for UNISA, or a Facebook group chat for UNISA, or a Telegram group chat for UNISA, most people, like previous students from like previous years, are normally selling their books to like first-year students or students of the next year that are coming up or whatever. So I do suggest that maybe you do buy second-hand books. If you are around Pretoria or Joburg or wherever there's like a campus close by, you can go to the campus. There are always people standing outside the campuses like selling specific books or whatever, so you can just show them the name. This is the name of the book that I want. They'll show you. You have to look at first edition by wada, the names and everything and all that stuff. So it is advised that maybe you do buy second-hand books, because test books are expensive. Let's get to Nsfas funded students. So if you are Nsfas funded, Nsfas will give you 5.2. I don't even know if I should be saying that, but Nsfas will be giving you 5.2 for test books. So you can take that money, you can buy your books, or they'll either give you an option to buy a laptop with that 5.2. So it's up to you what you want to do, but normally a lot of people just take the money. But if you don't have the laptop, it is advised that maybe you do get a laptop for yourself, because a lot of the assignments that we'll be doing are online. Especially this year, they want you to submit assignments online, they want you to take quizzes online, so you can't write it on paper and then submit the file. So it is important for you to have a laptop of some sort, or maybe like have access to internet of some sort, or maybe go to an internet cafe to do your assignments. Whichever way that works for you, is advised that you do that. So if you are Nsfas funded, you will get money for books, but I think that's the only thing that you do get if you, especially if you're a UNISA student. You don't get money for food, you don't get money for accommodation, you don't get money for anything else but that. They pay for your tuition, you get money for books, that's it, done. Let's move on to the apps that I was telling you about. So in terms of assignments and exams and the apps that help you at UNISA as a student. Okay, so there are WhatsApp group chats that you can join. There is a Telegram, the app called Telegram, that you can join group chats in. There's Facebook groups. There's many other things that people do that I don't know about, but those are the three things that I use. I use Facebook, I use WhatsApp, and I use Telegram. So let me tell you, with WhatsApp, when I was in first year, WhatsApp was like very popular. People use a lot of WhatsApp groups. That's why I was saying, you join your discussion group, you give them your number to add you to a WhatsApp group chat. And then with Telegram, you can just download Telegram, enter your details and everything, and then there is a link that you can find someone on Facebook, or you can ask someone that you know, a friend or whoever, or you can even ask me. It's fine. If you want me to send you the link to join a Telegram group on Unisa, it's fine. You can DM me on my Instagram or wherever, and then I'll just send you the link. It's okay. It's completely fine. And if you have any other questions about anything that I'm talking about, you can just DM me if you still don't understand, and then I'll just send you the links to some of the stuff. I don't mind doing that. With Telegram, yes, there's a link that you use. You enter that link, and then it'll open. You have to type in the module code, and then the group chat for that specific module that you want to join will pop up, and then it will say join group chat on Telegram or join group chat on Facebook. You can choose either or. I normally advise that you join the group chat on Telegram, and then you'll find past conversations about students from like 3 years ago, even. Okay, not that far, but like maybe a year ago or whatever. They study materials, there's like notes, there's everything there on Telegram, so you don't have to like struggle in terms of like getting help with your assignments and anything that has to do with that module. So Telegram, WhatsApp, and Facebook, very, very important to join, especially if you're a Unisa student and then you want help with specific things, because best believe the same thing that you're confused about, someone else is also confused about something like that. So yeah, Telegram groups and all that stuff. And then the next thing we're gonna go to is assignments. So in terms of assignments, like I told you, your tutorial letters have the specific dates to which your assignment will open, and then when you need to submit that assignment. It is important that you work ahead. So there is no such thing as procrastinating at Unisa, even though we do it. There is no such thing as procrastinating, because if you procrastinate and you leave your assignment to do it on the last day before it's due, then you're shooting yourself in the foot, and you won't get ahead with stuff. So it is important for you to do your assignment 10 days before, 2 weeks before, even a month before. Sometimes it is very important for you to push out all your assignments, because if you're doing 10 modules and 5 modules in first semester, best believe that each module has 2 assignments. Sometimes modules have like 4 assignments. So you need to work ahead. You literally just need to work ahead. That's the advice that I could give you with that. You need to work ahead. Make sure that you understand your assignment. Make sure that you read your stuff. Make sure that you don't plagiarize. Make sure that you do referencing. Make sure that you do anything that the tutorial letter tells you to do. Make sure you follow it to the T, okay? And if you have questions before submitting your assignment, make sure that you ask in the group chats, and make sure that, I don't know, like there's some people that form study groups where they compare answers and stuff like that, whatever. If you do that, don't write the exact same answers that your friends are writing and all that stuff. You will get plagiarized and you will get penalized, and then your assignment won't count. Another thing that I do want to tell you about assignments, I feel like assignments are very important, especially with me. Like assignments were very, very important for me, because I could gauge if I understood the module from doing my assignment. So if I had 2 assignments, if I got like a 50 something in the first assignment, I would make sure that in my second assignment I get like an 80 or a 90 or whatever, and like improve what I don't understand from my first assignment. But if you get good marks for both assignments, those marks are going to help you with your end of the year mark. So your assignments only count for like 20% of your year mark, and then your exam counts for like 80% of your year mark. But still, those assignment marks still help you. So it is important that you do pass your assignments, both of them. And if you fail assignment 1, you will not be accepted to write your exam at the end of the semester or at the end of the year. So you need to pass your assignment 1. So that is a requirement. You need to pass your assignment 1 with at least 50 for you to write your exam. Okay, and then the next thing I will tell you in terms of assignments, sometimes assignment dates get pushed back. There's always like problems, especially now that Unisa is fully online. There are always going to be problems of some sort or whatever. So just make sure that you always check your MyLife email, because they'll tell you this assignment date has been pushed back to this day, or this assignment date has been moved to this day. So you always have to make sure that you always check your MyLife email, because they'll communicate with you about anything. If there's a mistake in the assignment that you didn't notice, and then you answer your question wrong when they corrected you, then it's on you. They'll give you no marks for that assignment because you didn't fix it and correct it, and you didn't check your MyLife's email. Okay, and then the next thing that I want to talk about are exams. So exams, guys, you need to prepare on time. You literally need to prepare your exams on time. You need to have like 2 months, 3, almost a month ahead of you studying for your exam. When exam season starts, there's no time to waste. There's no time to do anything. There's literally no time to do anything, because remember, a semester is not even like 3 months, not even like 4 months. So if you're doing first semester modules, so you get your study material around February, end of February almost. You have March and April to submit your assignments, all your assignments, and then you have May, June. That's when you're writing your exams. So you literally have like 2 months to do work for big ass test books for your exam that you're gonna write here. So you need to work ahead, you need to study ahead, you need to constantly be doing your work at UNISA in order for you not to fail. So it is important that you study ahead, you prepare ahead, you do everything ahead, okay? It is very, very, very important, because if you procrastinate, you're gonna fail. And when you fail, it's not like high school. No one's gonna feel sorry for you, no one's gonna say anything to you. It's even up to you to just figure out your own stuff at UNISA actually. And it's very, very sad. But you are gonna fail if you don't study ahead of time and if you don't know your information. Say you delay doing your assignments on time. That falls over to you delaying your studying on time. That falls over to you knowing all the information that you need to know before your exam and all that kind of stuff. It will delay you. It will mess up your whole routine. So you need to study on time. A month ahead, I advise. 3 weeks is still okay, even 2 weeks is still okay, but you need to do it ahead of time. You can't jam this much of work in a week, not even a week, in a few days, because a lot of people like to do that. So you can't do that. You need to study ahead on time. Okay, now in terms of exams, because stuff is being done online, our exams were written online, especially last year were written online. Everything was fully online. The transition was a bit hard for most people. It was also hard for me, I would say, but everything is fully online. So some exams needed you to use an app called the Invigilator app, and that Invigilator app basically just monitors you so that you don't cheat on your exam and all that stuff. Here is my tip: if they tell you to use an Invigilator app, you use that Invigilator app, because you're gonna get penalized, and then you're not gonna get your mark, and then you're gonna fail, and then they're gonna take you to some disciplinary hearing, because you didn't follow the rules. So if they say you're using an Invigilator app, make sure that you use that Invigilator app. So in this app, you have to download it, obviously register, enter your stuff, do a trial run to practice how the app will work. Make sure that you get the app a few days before you write your exam. Make sure that you do the trial to learn how to use the app a few days before you start writing your exam. And on your exam day, make sure that the Invigilator app is on. If there's any problems of some sort, make sure that you fix it on that day. Like, don't write your exams without using that Invigilator app, because I saw a lot of people in the group just were complaining, I'm getting a disciplinary hearing, my test says I didn't write the test because I didn't use an Invigilator app. People are getting in trouble for like the most randomest things, because there will be a glitch in an app. Obviously there will be a glitch, but when there's a glitch, people just give up and don't like fix the glitch or try to re-log in again. So if something like that happens to you, try and log in again. Try and make sure that your phone is fully updated and everything. Get the Invigilator app. Use the Invigilator app in your exams. Use it, because you will get penalized, and if you wanted to finish your first year on time and all that stuff, you won't, because they'll penalize you and they'll make you rewrite the exam, or they'll just fail you in general, because some modules you can't even write a sub on. So make sure that you use the Invigilator app. So the last thing that I would like to talk about in general is like my overall experience at UNISA. The transition from high school to UNISA is very, very, very difficult. Like it was very, very difficult for me, because I was so used to being there, present in class. The teacher will like remind you, do your assignment, study, do this and this and this. When you get to UNISA, you are on your own. No one cares about you. No one's going to tell you information. You have to go figure out stuff for yourself. You have to actually go out there and actually figure things out for yourself. So when I was confused about my modules, no one was going to help me. No one's going to be like, oh, they're going to be learners that are going to be confused about this and this and this, so this is where you need to go. No. You have to actually go out there and actually find out some information about yourself. Unfortunately, during COVID, a lot of people couldn't do that. They couldn't access the campuses and stuff like that, whatever. But I know that this year some campuses are open. So if you're in a place like East London, there's a campus. In Pretoria, there's a campus. In Joburg, there's a campus. I'm not sure if there's still a campus in Tembisa, but there was. Just make sure, Google and check where are some UNISA campuses, and then you can go there and actually ask for information. So that's what I did all the time. I went there, I asked stuff on campus, I stood in those long lines, and I inquired the shit out of those people until I understood what was happening, because no one's gonna tell you. Also, make sure that you set reminders for your assignments, because no one's going to remind you that your assignment is due. No one's going to remind you that you're writing an exam. No one's going to remind you anything. So just make sure that everything is in order and you ask as many questions as you can. Make sure that you email them. If you feel like you don't understand something, email them, even 20 emails. Email. Make sure that you're constantly communicating with the university so that you can get all the information that you need, so that you don't get problems with your registration, so that you don't get problems with your overall degree, your modules, your anything, your finances and all that stuff. Just make sure that you communicate with the university all the time. But other than that, I will say that there are some benefits to studying at Unisa. The first benefit is that it's long distance online learning or whatever. So you can do other stuff, like if you have a job, it's a good place for you to actually like study through, because you can do your job and study at Unisa at the same time. It works. I did it. It was working out perfectly for me. You just need to prioritize and actually like set a schedule and actually not procrastinate and do everything that you need to do on time. But it's a good place for people that want to do that. It's also a good place for people that were living in South Africa, are moving out of South Africa to like a different country or whatever. You can still study through Unisa like that. It's a long distance learning. You can do that. I am not sure anymore about classes. I remember when I was in first year, there were some classes. Not all the modules will have classes, but some modules did have classes. So I went to attend 1 or 2 here and there. But after that, like I just saw like, oh, I can do this by myself. So it was fine. But there are people that do struggle with doing this kind of stuff by yourself, so it is fully self-study. It is hard. It is so hard, because you will look at something and you will be like, oh, I don't understand this, but then there's no teacher to explain it to you. So it is a big adjustment, especially for high school students or high school learners that are looking to study through Unisa. It is a big adjustment. So you need to make sure that you exhaust all your resources, your group chats, your lecturers, your emails, your discussions, your everything. You just need to exhaust all those resources so that it can help you. So that's what I did in my first year, my second year, my third year, my fourth year, and that's what I did at Unisa. And the last thing that I will say is that just be wary of going on campus if the campuses are open. Sometimes they'll communicate with you that there's a strike or whatever, where there are so many strikes. They strike a lot. So just make sure, be wary, go on the website, see what's happening at Unisa, because normally they update what's happening on campus weekly, sometimes daily, because if there's a strike, they'll tell you, okay, this campus is closed because there's a strike, so that you don't go there and get hurt or something happens to you without you knowing. So yeah, besides that, I do encourage you, go study through Unisa. It's a great place to study. There's literally nothing else I can say. I really do hope that this video is helping someone out there who has been so confused about studying through Unisa, the registration process, the application process, and all that stuff. If you have any more questions, I will leave my Instagram handle down below. You can go there, you can message me, I will answer you. You can ask me if you want me to send you a specific link, I will send it to you. I don't mind. I'm just here to help. So if you feel like this video was very helpful to you, or it helped you in some way, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And please don't forget to comment down below, and please don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. And if you're not sure if you want to subscribe or not, take a look around. You'll find something for you. I'm sure you will. So yeah, until next time, bye.